Well, good evening and welcome to Coffee and Tea with Aeson and Natalie. How are you, everyone? Hope you're having a good time. Oh, Natalie, have you been on TikTok today?
It's been a day. It's been a rough day. It's been a rough day, but I'm surviving. I'll survive. I'll get through it.
I know, but I just
Delays happen, stuff happens, and we're still in the shadow of retrograde, which just means stuff can still get junked up, and there's still been a lot of digital chaoses. So
well, there's also other planets that are in retrograde that affect this.
Yes, as well. Yeah. So it's it's a thing. Yeah. We're working through it. It'll be fine. It'll be fine.
Yes, but also, have you been on TikTok?
No, I have not.
Seen this big blow up over Hocus Pocus?
Oh, the people are thinking that like actual spells are being put through the movie and stuff. Is that what we're talking about? Huh?
Into their televisions?
Yeah, like that's what they're thinking. And I was like, okay, if that's the case, then watching any movie, like The Ring or The Grudge or like Poltergeist or The Exorcist, anything like that, you would be inviting that into your homes. So
I want to take it up a notch.
I was like,
to me.
I know. I'm like, don't come at me and say that, like, oh my God, this children's movie that's literally bringing back a flood of nostalgia for anybody who is of the age of 30 or older, and you're now gonna say that this is evil and demonic, and that we need to like turn it off. No.
Yeah. All right, but no. Okay, guys. If that was the factor, then by golly, me and Natalie have the most appointments booked in the century.
Wouldn't we though? Wouldn't we though?
Yes. All y'all guys need to call us, and you just need to book us all. You need to book all of the psychics on the Psychic Coffee Shop. We have bookings available. Y'all got, hokey pokey, I'll put a spell on you, bibbity bobbity boo. Call us now. Okay?
I swear. That's not how it works. I don't think Bette Midler had the intent in her mind while singing or speaking anything in that film.
If so, what is his name? Oh, who's the loser governor here that took her on Twitter?
Oh,
Jim Justice.
Yes, thank you.
If so, Jim Justice would already be kissing Baby Dog's ass because he would have been, disappeared off the planet.
Yeah.
She would put a spell on him and turned him into damn stone.
1,000%. 1,000%. So, yeah. And I think all the mega churches would also just be having a field day with it as well, Hi,
Kaylee. Hi, Nicole.
Hey, guys.
So, things will be okay. Technical things will happen. Things will kind of rock along.
It'll be all right.
Yes. But it's just like, why is the news media putting this person who is obviously schizophrenic?
Obviously
schizophrenic. She believes messages are being transmuted through her television and through other people's TV.
I mean, I do too whenever I see like a Burger King commercial, but that's just subliminal messaging, and that's just my Pavlovian response to seeing it.
No. No.
It's not a spell. That's just me being a hungry tourist.
Exactly.
It is mesmerizing though. I won't lie, it is magical.
It is magical. Watching Bette Midler on theater is magical.
Oh my God, isn't it though?
Bringing all three of the original cast was cute. No, I've not watched it. That will be my guilty pleasure on Sunday when I get to sleep in. I may wake up a little bit early and watch it.
Right.
However,
Brenda's like, I get that with Taco Bell. It is like they put a spell on you and suddenly you are at the door asking for a case of freaking chicken chalupas.
Oh,
and you don't know how you got there.
Exactly.
You don't know how you got there. All you know is you suddenly just needed like a whole bunch of tacos.
True. But I'm like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
It's well, not everybody likes Taco Bell. I have it every once in a while. I will like get down with a chicken quesadilla and just like leave me alone for 20 minutes.
And Shannon's, you have an unfair advantage. You had Mexican in your house for 30 freaking years. Okay, you got real Mexican.
Yeah. You know, I'm not gonna lie, some of those food trucks, as sketchy as they looked, had the most amazing food you've ever had in your life. The most unassuming truck that you'd be like, I am going to get kidnapped or I'm gonna get some kind of severe food poisoning, but the smell is enough to just say, I'm willing to risk it all right now because I can smell the garlic coming out of that truck and I want it. So
exactly,
I'm willing to die today just because of what's coming out of that truck.
I miss a good food truck in this Hokieville that we live in. We don't have food trucks. I want them.
You get anxiety when you go to Taco Bell. I think
a lot of other people
do. I mean, I think a lot of people get anxiety because they know what's about to happen to them about 15, 20 minutes after they finish eating it. Like, they know that they're going to regret it.
Right.
The chicken quesadillas are amazing, though. I love that little spicy, like, ranchy sauce. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Oh, please. That's easy to do with a little paprika.
I don't care. It's delicious.
I know. Well, my guilty pleasure is McDonald's. And I am basic kid McDonald's. I want 2 double cheeseburgers, extra hydrated onions, double pickles, no ketchup, a small fry, and a small drink. And if it's a large fry and a large drink, I had to train my husband for this. I don't want it. I want that exact meal.
That's hilarious. My thing is their chicken nuggets. And funnily enough, when I was pregnant with my daughter, I only had like 3 instances where I had like what I would consider a pregnancy craving. Mm-hmm. And I sat up it was like 2:33 something in the morning. And I sat up and my husband's like, oh my God, is it go time? And I was like, no, it's not go time, but 2 things. And I hadn't even opened my eyes up. Like I just sat up and my eyes were closed. I was still like mostly asleep. And I was like, 2 things. 2 things, really important. I need to pee, and I need a bucket of chicken nuggets. And my husband's like, a bucket of chicken? I was like, I need a bucket of McDonald's. I was like, and he's like, that's not a thing. I was like, well, it's gonna be. It's gonna be tonight. We are getting me a bucket of chicken nuggets. And I called ahead, and I was like, what is the largest order that you guys can sell? And they're like, we have a 50 piece. And I was like, how long is going to take for you to make?
I'll take 2.
Right. I will be there in the allotted time that you give me for you to start preparing this. I am letting you know I am heavily pregnant and I will be coming to your establishment to purchase an obscene amount of chicken nuggets. So get ready because this is about to happen. And there I am at like 4 a.m. binge watching Grey's Anatomy, sobbing through every episode, just pouring nuggets and barbecue sauce into my face and living my pregnant dream.
You know, great. You surprised me for a Brit.
I surprise a lot of people.
And here's why. Everyone knows the Brits don't like spicy foods.
You know, but see, okay, so you would think that. However, due to the large amount of Indian residents and all of the Middle Eastern refugees that are also over there, I was essentially raised on basmati rice and chicken tikka masala and biryani. Like there was a period of time in my house and my mom's house and like our car smelled of nothing but curry. Like it smelled of nothing but curry. The second we walked in the house, I was like, I'm not sure if we're actively cooking or if this is just leftover from last night. Like I don't know what's happening right now. And even my daughter, even at like age 3, she was asking for chicken tikka masala for dinner, and I was like, yes, I've done something right. Cultural expansion, yes.
But no, that's normally the chief complaint is Brits don't like spice. They like a very mild dinner.
They do. I mean, it's all about like the lamb and the potatoes and beef and potatoes and very much like a country style,
Uh-huh.
or fish and chips.
Right.
Very bland. I think the spiciest thing on that is the malt vinegar, and even then, some people don't want that.
Mm-hmm.
But Coleman's mustard has got a kick to it that will clear your sinuses out for at least a few days if you're not careful with it. So,
but no, you surprised me, especially with your love for tiki masala.
I do. And a good mango chutney. It's everything. And papadums and I will even make my own naan bread. Like I will get a bug up my butt and I'm like, I'm making naan bread tonight.
Ooh.
We
need a video of that one.
I have pictures somewhere in my history of Facebook feeds. I do have pictures of the naan bread that I make, and it is delicious.
Mm-hmm. All right.
It is delicious.
Well, no, I'm talking about an instructional cooking with Natalie video.
My mother did an instructional cooking video once, and it was like she was doing, it was like 80 recipes. It was 80 recipes around the world in 80 days. So she was going to do during the pandemic 80 recipes in 80 days, and it was going around the world, like 80 countries, getting a recipe from every single one of those countries.
Mm-hmm.
Which was a brilliant idea until the activities department decided, nope, we're going to cut that program completely and we're going to go in a completely different direction. She's like, well, great, but in all that effort for nothing. But she did like a minestrone soup one, and it's so funny because my mom has such a strong British accent. So it was like anybody who watches it, there was like, that's not your mom, and I was like, no, that is my mom. That's what I used to sound like.
You got to hang around with some hicks, and
as soon as I get on the phone with any of my friends in the UK, it's instantly comes back. Or if I'm watching something on the BBC, I really struggle to like figure out which accent my brain is going to come out with. And sometimes it's an awkward mix.
Well, it might be interesting that, for 30 days to watch an hour of BBC before starting to take your calls and see if the call volume goes up.
Some of my friends have heard what I call my real accent, and it freaks them out because they're like, there's no way. And they're like, I wish you would use it all the time. And it's like, how many questions I get asked on a regular basis from strangers when they hear where I'm from. I'm sick and tired of having that interview.
It's not an interview. It's a marketing ploy.
Oh my God, I love your accent. Where are you from? How long have you been here? Why have you moved here? Why didn't you move back? Blah, 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 blah.
Deep breath.
Right. And then it's like the next person that you come in contact with. Oh my God, I love your accent. Where have you from? How long have you been here? Blah, blah. I'm like, oh my God, go ask that person who's walking out the door right now. I answered all those questions. Here.
You are losing the marketing skill. You do a video. You put it on YouTube. Here's my YouTube channel. That'll explain all to you.
Here's a video explaining me.
Yes.
I know. Seriously, Shannon, I actually did that once when I worked for a Hilton hotel in Scottsdale, Arizona. And it got to the point where almost every single guest that checked in was asking me like the same 20 questions. And I was like, listen, I ended up printing out like, it was like the top 10 questions, and I like question, answer. And I printed it out and I jokingly handed it to a regular guest who always asked me questions. And after that, he had such a great reaction from it that every now and then I would just like, if someone was asking me over 3 questions, I was like, you know what?
See, here it is. The things you need to cover in your FAQ page, which will be your assignment in January.
Yes, sir.
By the way, I love your lipstick. It looks lovely tonight.
Thank you. I had to dig through what I had, and I was like, listen, I know I have a Vampy Red somewhere. So we'll just do that.
So let's see. Well, my day has been interesting. I got a paranormal call earlier from a medium that's untapped, which means she doesn't know she's a medium. She just thinks that she has an annoying spirit. And I'm like, no. You have a spirit guide that you got to learn to control so he doesn't shake you out of bed. And click.
Mm-hmm.
So someone is passing out Aeson's office number for paranormal consulting. I'm a psychic. I'm not a paranormal consultant.
Right. Thank you, Miss Myers.
Uh-huh.
I do like it.
Mm-hmm.
I look good in wine shades or like brownies, and
yeah,
blue tones look a little bit better on me, but I have to be careful with blues as well, because if it goes too blue, then my skin looks gray around it, and I'm like, then I just look like I'm slowly dying of like cyanide poisoning, and it's not really a look that I'm going for these days.
Arsenic poisoning that turns you gray.
Is it arsenic? I was like, it's some kind of like slow poisoning that I'm experiencing.
You don't have time to change color; you just die.
Okay. So it would just look like, it just looks like I'm sick, like I'm slightly ill around the mouth. I'm like, that's not flattering. Like the color, just not on me.
Yeah. But no. So we both are running a little sale. How's it going for you?
Well, I have 2 bookings. I'm hoping if Rebecca Jo Levine is in the audience, can you please message me? I've been trying to reach you about your car's extended
it's not about your car insurance.
It's not about the car insurance, but we're gonna say it's about the car insurance. It's about your appointment, my dear.
Yeah. I'll be surprised if it is not, because I sent the last show I showed her, I was like, Jeffree Star approved makeup color, and she matched it exactly.
I did. Yeah. And this blue color is also like, it's like a dark navy.
Yeah, that's better as an eyeshadow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, blue lips freak me out and make me want to check your pulse ox.
Like I said, I was like, there's some blue shades that do make me look like I might not be well.
Yes.
And I might be trying to cover it up, the fact that I'm not well.
Shadow with a little bit of powder over it does amazing.
Yes.
Yes. And yes, makeup that is designed for one thing can be used for another.
Yeah.
Oh, and it's actually more safer.
Yeah.
Because of like your blues, and a lot of eyeshadows are not approved for the eyes, but lipstick is approved for ingestion. So if you want a really wild eyeshadow, you use the lipstick and then just take and do translucent powder over it. So
and it'll stay all day.
Yes.
Like when I was doing theater, everything was like cream based and slap on a healthy smattering of powder.
Yep.
It's like, make sure you had your hair guards up or whatever.
Yeah.
Put a wig cap on or something like that real quick, because you're gonna get covered in it.
And then powder that shit down.
Yep. Absolutely.
Yep. All right. So will you do our normal likey sherry thing, please?
Oh, yes. Everybody hit the like button on our pages, hit the follow button. Every single like and follow gets us boosted up in the audiences. So it gets us boosted up in the live streams. So then more people can come in and say hi to us. And that's really cool. Also, tag your family, tag your friends, tag all of the people that you know are into like this kind of stuff. So they can get in on it too.
Right. And, we're here to have fun. Yes, we are taking questions throughout. We do require a birthday that keeps my lawyer happy.
Yes.
Yes.
So we're not reading for underage people, because that's also a thing.
Yeah. And
we also don't do pregnancy or legal.
Huh?
No pregnancy or legal.
No pregnancy or legal. And other than that, everything's fair game. Of course, we get the medium on tonight. Someone was wanting a mediumship reading the other night, and I'm like, I don't do mediumship. Natalie.
Well, I had a quick story time. I had one of my fears as a medium kind of realized the other day.
Oh, did you go channeling uncontrollably?
Well, I channeled somebody that so the person that I was reading was unaware that this spirit was actually in spirit. They were unaware that they had crossed over.
Oh, that's delightful.
And then I got a message that said that their family was afraid to tell them that their dog had passed over about 2 months ago. And she was unaware that her dog had passed away. So I'm then getting a message saying, so just calling to let you know that when you did my reading the other day on your live and you said that there was a dog next to me, I was really confused and it made absolutely no sense. And then I found out that my dog passed away 2 months ago and my family was not like ready to tell me yet. And I was like, oh, that's been one of my biggest fears, is like saying that someone is coming through in spirit. And they're like, that person hasn't died yet though. And I'm like, I have a feeling that they might.
Well, here's my thing, and it's happened to me twice when I've done mediumship, and this is why I don't do it online. Is I'll be talking to a spirit, and they'll be like, they're still alive, and I'm like, okay,
yeah.
And they get the next sentence is, but they have dementia.
Yeah, like their spirit, their soul is already halfway crossed over. Yeah. I've connected with people who are in a comatose state, like their body is still present, but I was still able to connect with them and pass on messages and validate things that were happening around them, like the day beforehand, like conversations that were happening in their room and things like that, and the decisions that were being made, and just things like that, you know, and like certain jokes that were being told, and they're just like, how are you able to see that? And I was like, because they're telling me, like, but they're not dead yet. And I was like, okay, so based on their current condition, the chances of them coming back are slim to none, correct? And they're like, well, yes. And I was like, okay, so
here's what we get.
This is how this works.
But no, just and I've had it happen as a clairvoyant too, be talking to someone who is physically not in their body, and it's like, well, you get back in your body. Just get the hell back in your body. Stop aggravating me.
Right.
She doesn't want to hear that she forgot to turn you last night.
Well, I've got cards for Donna.
Okay, so do I. You go first.
Okay, Donna. It's going to take you a heck of a lot of hard work, my dear, but prosperity will be coming for you. I've got a lot of perseverance. So your battle is not over yet. You're still going to have a few mountains to climb, but it will pay off. But you need to really kind of take care of yourself, take care of your own mental sense of being overwhelmed. It's like you've got multiple buckets being poured into your mind and your bowl is only so big. So it's going to end up overflowing. Okay. There might be some things that you need to let go of, or the things that you might need to maybe sacrifice or just not deal with at the moment, if you are becoming overwhelmed. But the Seven of Pentacles is really saying, so long as you are investing in yourself and investing in your journey, you're definitely going to reap the rewards from it. So as long as you like buckle down, put your head down, and really like work hard at it, you will be successful.
All right. Let's go here. So, first we have the Empress, which means you are in control of everything. You have the ability to grow prosperity. With that, however, is the Three of Swords that reminds you to pull yourself together and sew yourself up. Center currently in your place. You're leaving some things behind, which is good because the cups are broken, if you see. And you have your Lady of Logic here, the Queen of Wands, reminding you to keep your level head, because as you move forward, you're going to have to take and regroup your brain, but as you do that, your finances start popping out. Now, your advice card, the linchpin, is the Page of Cups. What brings you joy? What brings you happiness? What do you have a passion for? Start cooking that up.
You're very welcome. I hope it makes sense for you.
Welcome.
Let us know how it resonates. That always helps.
All right, Miss Brenda Brown, you're going directly to Natalie, direct descent.
You're like, let's go to Natalie.
Yes. Today is her mother's earthly birthday, and she's been on her mind all day. Curious if there's any special messages for her from her mother or the uncle.
Okay, I don't know if you've had a visitation in your dream or if you've had a lucid dream recently, Brenda. It's almost like I'm being taken on a tour of the home, or like a childhood home, or you're being brought back through like deep, deep, deep memories of your childhood home, and it's almost like you're being brought there through your mother, or being brought there with your mother. Please know that, first of all, she is absolutely with you, and she wants you to relax your mind, Brenda. Relax your mind. You are so overwhelmed and so worried about whether or not everything is going to be okay. You already know that things are technically not okay around you, okay? And I don't want you to become overwhelmed with trying to take on the responsibility yourself to make things better. Allow things to process as they are supposed to. You cannot fix everything, okay? And sometimes we need to let things go or let things be as they are. That being said, I don't know if there was also a family dog. I'm getting like an amber dog color, like amber, like sandy. It's like sandy sand color, sandy sand color. I don't know if that's even a color. But there's also a very fluffy dog, like golden retriever or lab mix, something along those lines, also coming in as well with mom. Also with uncle energy, there is also I'm being shown that they are connected, because I'm being shown that cord or that ribbon between the two of them as well. And I am being shown that there is also healing energy, and also your mother is giving me the color yellow. So if you're struggling to find joy, or if you're struggling to get creative, or if you're having creative blocks, make sure you're working on your solar plexus, my darling. Hope that makes sense for you.
All right. So, guys, we're going to take a break. We'll be right back. Maybe. There we go.
Hi, I'm Dottie the Psychic, and I'm sure you're wondering why I'm not wearing any makeup. Well, one reason is to irritate my social media manager, Aeson Knight. Hi, Aeson. The other reason is because I like to get to the naked truth about what it means to be a neurodivergent LGBT person with psychic abilities. I've got vlogs, blogs, and podcasts and videos all related to trying to live my best life and helping witches and bitches do the same thing. So, you can check all that out and get a reading from Dottie the Psychic at DOTTIEthepsychic.com. Safe travel and much profit to you.
Do you have a cute pet? We know you do. Each week, Tracy Vann chooses from submitted photos a featured reader for her Facebook page and provides a tarot reading. Your adorable pet cat, dog, rabbit, goat, chicken, snake, or more could be her next featured reader. Visit tracyvann.com, TracyBann.com, and click Featured Reader to submit. We look forward to seeing your pet next.
Hey everybody, Lady Gwendolyn here, and I am here to tell you how to get in contact with me and a little bit about what I do. I am the High Priestess that works with shadow work to help you grow and heal. And I work with access bars, Reiki, I do power forms. I'm recently getting into crystal healing, sound therapy as well. So you can go to Lady Gwendolyn Healing, that is LadyGwendolynHealing.com. Book your appointment with me. I do in person, I do over the phone, I do over Zoom. We can do that as well. My main goal is to help you grow and heal, because I've been there, I'm still going through it, and I let my strength help guide you. See you soon.
Hey everybody, Natalie here from The Pendulum's Path. If you are in need of guidance, direction, spiritual connection, healing, or more, you would come to the right place. I have worked as a psychic and a medium for over 3 years, connecting people from all over the world with their loved ones, giving them insight and guidance into their current situations, their past healings, their blockages, and what they need to know in order for them to have a better future. It would be my absolute honor if you would come to my website at www.thependulumspath.com. Visit my shop. I have a whole bunch of crystals, oils, balms, mystery boxes, and more. And visit my services. I offer 15-minute, 30-minute, and 60-minute sessions. I also have email readings available if you're not comfortable with the one-on-one session with me, or if you just want to try me out. I encourage you to come visit me at the Pendulum's Path, and let's get you back on the right track today.
Ooh, the timing on that, I was like cutting it close.
You were.
I was cutting it close. I was like, oh, it's okay.
It's okay. We got everything under control.
Okay.
We know how to make things rock. So,
the golden dog means a lot, and thank you so much for the messages. Look at that, Brenda.
Yeah. All right. So, we go from hocus pocus to I've decided I done a TikTok video today. Which, by the way, guys, my TikTok's doing something weird. It's muting my duets. I don't know why. We still have to figure that one out. I don't know if I'm not allowed to duet some things and I'm allowed to duet others.
Weird.
I know. But anyway, just a reminder, make sure you shake your spell bottles. And tomorrow I'm going to leave you I'm going to probably try to do 1 or 2 witchy tips throughout the month.
I shook mine earlier today.
Yes. You want to make sure to shake them up and feed them.
Yes.
Yes, and sometimes that means they get to go to a new jar because they're bigger. That's why I always say use a mason jar, because that way when it's really big, you can really give it a good shake. The other one is, I'm going to, give you a wifey husbandy tip. One, if your husband starts ticking you off, just start saying belladonna, deadly nightshade, rosemary, clove. Just start singing herbs. It will freak them out. I know it works with mine really quickly.
Just singing belladonna just had me. I was like, oh, crap. I'm already in enough trouble with what I do anyway, so I don't need to add any more fuel to that fire. Thank you.
Oh, please. When you start naming off deadly nightshade, belladonna, right, dragon's tail, worm's wood, foxglove. Huh?
Castor,
oriander. Husbands start changing their tunes real quick about their behavior.
My fun story about deadly plants. Not fun story, but also fun story. So my mother's mother was not a very nice person. To the point that she was suspected of harming more than one person in the family, but could never be proven. And it was discovered that there were several castor plants on her property that were very obviously being nurtured, not just ignored. And just accidentally unaware that they were there because everything else around it was being trimmed and nicely groomed, but those plants were still going strong. It was very, very apparent that she was nurturing these plants. And according to what I've been told by family members, it was she had intent to use them on certain people in the family. And create a tincture of sorts with it, or dry them and powder them and use them on certain people. So that's fun.
But bringing that up, we are having it, and I was talking about this in a moment, and we got distracted, so let's get back to that.
Okay.
We are having a sale. I don't normally do sales. I'm going to be doing a few sales here this season. The first one is the spooky sale. It is a 30 for 30. 30-minute appointment with us for $30. You
Just
have
use
to
the code
use the
SPOOKY.
coupon code SPOOKY in all capital letters.
Yep. I've had a few appointments booked to get in on them before they're gone, or before I don't have any appointments left, because availability is limited.
Yes, it is always limited. You know, because we have
lives.
Well, no, we have lives, but at the same time, like, I don't know, my day to day, it started out at 7 o'clock this morning. I'm running to about 2 in the morning with meetings and other things, because a lot of people see Aeson and they think I just do psychic readings. No, Aeson does business coaching. He does business analytics. He is also a project manager. He also has 2 husbands. One of them owns a business and he co-manages that, because a lot of my services also go through his business. And oh yeah, then you know, you have to cook and clean and do all that fun stuff.
Right, exactly. And it's like, I'm like, I have a family as well. You know, some people are like, why can't you take clients at 9 in the morning? And I was like, because we homeschool.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, and I was like, yeah, I have a family. I have a life. I don't just live, breathe, and exist in my psychic life. I have a human side as well.
Yeah.
I have to go to Walmart later and go get some things.
I'm sorry. I really have enjoyed 2 changes we done this month. One, I love that Joe is now taking care of the shopping. He has done really good with holding to a list and not bringing me home anything that he shouldn't have. So he's learned really well. The other thing I'm really enjoying is the Instacart for Walmart.
Yeah.
Up. He can drive up, pick up what I want, and come home. I don't have to deal with any yelling, screaming babies that really do not belong in a store.
Yeah. Exactly. You know, and I'm just like, you know, I have errands to run. I'm like, I have to go and ship out orders that come in from my shop. I have, you know, the networks that I'm on. It's like I have private readings, but then I have networks that I work on as well. I was up until one of the networks I was on last night had a 24-hour sale that ends in like 20 minutes. But I was up until about 3 o'clock in the morning last night taking calls and 1 hour returns. And it was like bang, one after another, after another, after another. And it was like every time I tried to log off to go to sleep, another one would come in and I have to answer that one within an hour. And then right when I'm wrapping that one on and I'm going to the log off button, another 2 came and I was like, you gotta be kidding me.
No, that's when you sleep. Did someone say they needed abundance?
Yes, I did. And I was like, but I'm also very, very tired.
Yeah, Spirit don't give a fuck.
I know.
Get your Earl Grey
you still
out.
Have another 10 left, didn't you? I'm like, no, I don't.
Sorry, honey.
You might. I don't.
See, and that's me. Like when I'm at an event, everyone thinks Aeson is super energetic and he's all over the place and he's doing everything. And, you know, I think Pagan Pride was the lowest energy level I had done at an event because I had my staff out, but I had hurt my foot. But
right, you and I were both like not feeling 100% that day.
Yeah, but the minute the car is packed and everything is over, Aeson is back to 0. He is asleep.
Yeah,
Joe has made it famously known that I am just like, take me home.
Yeah.
About 20 minutes in, there's an IHOP over there. Can you please pull over? I need food. Thank you very much.
Yeah, when I came home from Pride, I was like, I still had that adrenaline going through me, but my body was done. You know, I was like, there was so much stuff going on that day. My brain was going 2,000 miles a minute, but my whole body was like, we checked out 3 hours before you left.
Yeah, that's when I just let Spirit take the wheel, and I'm like, if you're going to operate this body, operate it. Let's go.
Yes, please, let's do this because I can't right now.
Right. But no, we're getting into, October 1st kicks off the run for the Black Rose through Valentine's Day. Schedules are limited. You want to book early. You want to get your favorite reader. You want to be checking out our pages and our prices and our newsletters. If you're a Patreon of the network, you get early warnings on sales and early availability to sales. But, so that's the fun stuff of fun marketing. So what's your weekend looking like?
I will be at the Case Paranormal Expo this Saturday at the Cheat Lake Fire Hall.
Oh, cool.
That goes from 10 in the morning until 6 p.m. I'll be getting there a little bit early to get set up and everything like that. But there will be a whole bunch of us there. So come check us out. They'll have everything from UFOs and Bigfoots to psychic mediums, crystals, merchandise, art. There's one artist there that I absolutely love. He does hidden Bigfoot paintings, and I think they're hilarious and they're beautiful, like gorgeous paintings. But in all of them, there's a little Bigfoot that's painted somewhere hidden in the picture, and it makes my heart so happy every time I see them. So I'm going to have to save up for one of those paintings because I really do need to have one of them in my home. I really do.
I mean, that's one of my. I've done that. I've done that event when they started, and I really liked their event. So I'm glad you took it over.
Yeah, Les has been great with with all of my questions and everything, and it was actually that was the first vendor event that I signed up for because I signed up for that before I signed up for the Pride event. Before that even started, like I was like, I'm just gonna have to take this deep breath, and I'm gonna have to put myself out there, and I'm gonna have to get into vendoring events. And from what I had heard, everybody was like, no, it's a really great event, you should totally get in on it.
Well, it was wonderful.
Yeah, and I was like, okay, they're like, it's really easy going, it's not, it's busy, but it's not crazy. It'll be a good,
and the hot dogs are great.
Right, exactly. They're like, it's a good way to get your foot in the door in like the vendoring community and things like that. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it.
Yep, you got your gear bag packed with your tablecloths and your.
I do. I've got everything sorted out. I've got everything sorted out.
Awesome.
I have everything sorted out. So we're getting that done.
Yeah.
And then the weekend of the 15th, there's a private vendor event that I've been invited to, but it's not open to the public. So I can't really blast about it, but
you do those. I do those also. You can book them on my site.
Yeah. So there was a production company that's run by women out here that they had invited another tarot reader to come to this event, but they unfortunately weren't able to make it. And they're like, I have a replacement though. I have a replacement for you. And then they asked me, what if I had any social media stuff. And I was like, oh yeah. No, you can find me everywhere. And I was like, I'm also on the West Virginia Tarot Association. I'm part of the West Virginia Psychics. I was recently crowned May Queen. If you want somebody there and you can put all this stuff, it's gonna maybe bring in some extra faces to this event. So
yeah. So that's very cool. You are reigning May Queen. We actually need to do a page on that.
Yes, we do.
Yes. Yes, West Virginia Psychics has began their. Let me grab that link for everybody because I haven't sent it out to my newsletter yet. So, West Virginia Tarot Association is looking for nominations for Best Psychic, Best Astrologer, Best Reader. You can vote for multiples, and I'm sorry, there's a gnat aggravating me. Okay, am I the only one having problems out of the Facebooks?
No, well, just technology in general for the past 2 days has not been my best friend. So,
okay,
I was having things that I was posting things on Facebook that should automatically share to my group, and it wasn't automatically sharing it. It said that my group was disconnected, and then it wasn't. And then today it said my Instagram was disconnected, and it wasn't. And I was like, you know what, Facebook, you need to get your head out of your rear end and figure it out.
Well, I think Meta is doing something. What, we do not know, but when it occurs, it's always a pain.
Yeah. And they never tell us about the updates. They do the update, and then they tell you about the update, and the update makes no sense.
No. Like right now, I can be 17 different people on Facebook, and it drives me crazy.
Yep.
Yep. Choose a broom. Give me a second to sort through baloney.
I can talk about a fun spirit experience that I had
Please
a couple
do.
weeks ago. So, my adopted uncle, I guess you could say, he's not my blood uncle, but the man met me like the minute after I was born, kind of thing. So he's my uncle, all right.
Mm-hmm.
He recently passed away, less than 2 weeks ago, and my mom was really concerned for his soul's safety. Because he had a very
Did he not like keeping his hands in, the car?
no because he had no faith whatsoever. As far as I know, he was either atheist or agnostic. Like he had no core belief system, whatever. And my mom, who is very heavily Christian, was worried that he would not like make it to the other side. And I was like, well, first of all, I'm not going to get into like that long-winded conversation with my mom because I don't have the time or energy to get into that.
Book an appointment.
Right, exactly. I was like, I told her, I was like, I will definitely ask him for a sign. Let me know that he is okay.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, okay. And I was like, he will. I just have, I just don't know when, don't know where, but he will definitely give me a sign.
Mm-hmm.
About 3 days later, I get an email response from a report. And at the very bottom of the report, it says who typed it out, who transcribed it, and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And the name of the person who transcribed it, the first and last name, was my uncle's name. Right. And I was just like, well, if ever I needed a sign that he is okay, the chances of these two people sharing the exact same name and the exact same spelling, I was like, there's no way.
Right.
So I sent a screenshot of the report to my mom and I sent it to her. I was like, if you ever wanted to know if he was okay and on the other side, I'm pretty sure I just got a response. I was like, because it wasn't just like a first name or, something, it wasn't something so generic. It was literally his first and last name that was sitting right in front of me. And I was like, he's fine. He made it. He's good. He's unpacked his bags and he's chilling.
Right. So there's the link for you guys to go vote for Best Psychics in West Virginia. Please be a West Virginia resident. You can nominate any psychic you would like. There's multiple options there, so you don't have to choose. This is, of course, the first run, and then there'll be a second run for the West Virginia Terror Association. So go ahead and do that. That'll keep you a little bit, give you a little bit of fun. I actually need to start putting it into my newsletters. I'm sure you're starting your PR campaign.
Yes, I am. Yeah, so everybody that's received an inbox that says, vote for me.
Yes.
I was like, hey, remember how I asked you to do this last year? It's that time again, folks. Take 2 seconds out of your time, click this link, and type in my name. I would greatly appreciate it.
Exactly. No, there's a lot of fun stuff that's going on in spooky season. What has been your highlight so far?
Well, I kind of joke around and I say to my mom's like, what are you going to do for spooky season? I'm like, literally every single day of my life is spooky season. It doesn't have to be in October. It's like every single day of my life is spooky season. We're definitely going to be doing trick-or-treating. But I have a feeling that the personal readings are going to go through the roof. Not just because of the special deals that we're running, but just because this seems to be like the time of year that everybody's like, oh, I'm into like doing haunted houses. Let's all go visit a psychic because that's the thing to do. And it is the thing to do, but it's also the thing to do in January and March and July and September. You can put either name down, Brenda. They know who I am.
Yeah.
They know who I am. If you put Natalie or the Pendulum's Path down, it don't matter. They will know exactly who I am.
It all goes into one jar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The people who run it know that I am one and the same.
Registered as both members.
Yeah.
Yeah, but let's kind of talk about this. So the Terror Association started because I was sick and tired of everyone else having a terror association.
But us.
And we were having a lot of problems out of people that have, in this state, read 2 tarot books and started doing professional readings. Why looking at their books?
Yeah.
and charging people like $100.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, we need a professional organization that can say no. I know my shit. I'm professionally in business. I actually do this job for a living. So me and another tarot reader, the Michelle Alford, started the Tarot Association of West Virginia. And then she's like, well, why don't we do awards? And I'm like, what a great idea.
And it's a great way to recognize those that work in this industry, like actively work in this industry, because it is an industry. It's not just a carnival act. It's an industry.
Yeah, a $9 billion industry.
Yeah, it's not just some joke, and it's not just like, I mean, there are scammers out there, but what we do, it's not some scam show. It's legitimate spiritual connection. And it's like, if anybody has any doubts, just check the reviews, check what people say about us. You know what I mean? It's like the evidence is literally out there from what other people say. I can't prove it to you. You have to experience it for yourself.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's not.
It's a thing, guys. And, it's a very valid thing.
It really is.
Yes.
And there is still a lot of stigma around it. There's still a lot of people who think that it is a joke or whatever. And it is still frustrating because,
Right. And also, there's still legislation in this state that we have to work on. Okay. What I mean by that is there's legislation like in Vienna, beautiful area outside of Parkersburg. We can't work there.
Because they have restrictions.
Yes. Huntington, West Virginia. We can't even live there. Not just run our business, but live there.
Yeah.
These are the fun things we're still trying to get off the books.
It's been over 100 years. You think that they would have figured it out by now?
Yes.
It's not like they stopped doing the public hangings like a month ago. You know what I mean? Like it's been a minute.
Like my opinion on this one. I think they should be pay-per-view events. This would save the prison system a lot of money.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Pay to watch that shit.
Well, not like that, but
even like live court events and stuff like that, like publicized court events. Heck yeah, you could make some money off of that. Can you imagine if they had charged people to watch the Johnny Depp and Amber Heard trial? How many people would have paid to have watched that? I mean, seriously.
Seriously, I don't think that Virginia would have a deficit problem.
Nope. They'd be able to fix every single road in that entire state.
Virginia has good roads. It's West Virginia that has sucky roads.
Yeah, we do.
But still, they could fix every bridge down there. I mean, paid court appearances. Some really interesting court cases are going on right now that I'm watching.
Right.
And I'm like, come on. I can't remember. It's one of the school shootings.
Yeah.
The judge in the school shooting. That girl is better than Judge Judy.
She shuts everybody down real quick.
Well, no,
I want to hear it.
The lawyers going, excuse me. You have disrespected me 5 times in this damn court. You show up late and you walk out when you don't like my decision. That is unprofessional behavior. I'm sorry. I would sit there and pay for the channel. I'd buy the subscription.
Right, like $12.95 for a whole month. Yes, sir. I will do that.
Up. No.
Right, for unlimited court viewings. Absolutely.
Right now, the Britney Spears case. There's this big. The 12th accounting is still in debate. This is the one that has the $2.5 million lawyer fees in them. Mm-hmm. I'm like, fucking televise the damn next court thing. Charge him $5 an interlude.
Yeah.
Honey, you'll make your money and you can just literally pay daddy to get the fuck out of your life.
Yeah. YouTube has paid events all the time. All you guys sign up on a Patreon link. That if they seriously court systems had a Patreon link and they were charging people a monthly fee to sit and watch court cases and put their comments down.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah. But this is how they deterred a lot of stuff in olden days. I think if the court system was this big mystery, we wouldn't be having judge problems. We'd have less criminal violence. And it'd be like, oh, shit, I can't do that. I will end up having carrots thrown at me.
Yeah.
And cabbages thrown at me. for, you know.
It seems like something that was in that, oh my God, what's that show? Black Mirror.
Uh-huh.
In like twisted alternate worldly situations, you know what I mean? And it seems like something that would be involved in an episode of that.
Yeah, but no, it was a fact, 150 years ago, you went to court, it was the whole town turned out for the court, the whole town turned out for your hanging. That was right after court, not 20 years later.
Yeah. It was like people would skip church to go watch a public hanging, you know.
They would not skip church. Church would be held.
They go to church and then go to the public hanging afterward.
And have a picnic in the graveyard.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm not joking. Graveyards used to be picnic locations. That's why there's this big open green space. It wasn't for future graves.
Yeah, it was so that you could go and hang out with the dead. Yeah, so you could go hang out with your family.
Uh-huh. They used to have merry-go-round. The older cemeteries have merry-go-rounds and slides and swings in them. And I'm quite sure that ghosts would actually go and check out the playground.
Absolutely.
Because they aren't in the graveyard.
Yeah. I had a cool paranormal experience it was a park, but the park was built over a grave, like a cemetery in San Diego, California. And the entire time that we were there doing the investigation, this is before I found out or accepted that I was a psychic and a medium and that ghosts were coming to me all the time. And the guy that ran the tour, he was also part of one of like the TV paranormal teams. I can't remember. It was probably like TAPS or something along those lines. Like he was part of that team at some point and runs paranormal tours in like the off seasons or whatever. And the entire time we're on this tour, the guy's like, "You are a magnet." And I was like, "I don't know what that means." And he's like, out of everybody in this group, which was just me, my family, like it was just me, my mom, my dad, my brother, and him. And he's like, "We all have the same meters. We all have the same gear. And you are the only person who has had any activity. And the activity that you're getting is constant. Like every time you invite a spirit to come into your space, it lights up like a million, like a Christmas tree." And we got into this area where there was like this huge old tree in the middle of this beautiful park. And it's like probably 11:30, 12 o'clock at night. We're hanging out in this park and he's explaining that there was a cemetery and the city built over it. And everything on all of my meters were lighting up. And my brother was getting so upset because he was the one who wanted to do the tour. He was the one who wanted to experience paranormal stuff. I was just going because I was like, this is cool. I'm excited. This is going to be so much fun. And I then outwardly said, I was like, if there is any spirit in front of me, can you please like leave me and go to my brother and like go make his stuff light up because he's getting really butthurt that I'm getting all the attention. And instantly all of my stuff shut down and all of my brother's stuff started going absolutely bonkers crazy. Like just freaking nuts. Like high static sounds were coming out of his meters and everything was just going absolutely crazy. My brother freaked out and he's like, "My sister's talking to dead people." I'm like,
yeah, that's my job.
Yeah, like then like freaking 15 years later, I'm like, oh, it all makes sense. Oh, it all makes sense.
My problem is I can play with those meters.
I'm sure I could too. Yeah, it was crazy, Brenda. My brother was so mad the whole night. And it was like I was getting taps and chills and all this stuff. And my poor brother, he's like, "I'm so mad." He's like, "No one wants to play with me." And I was like, it's not like I came here wanting like to have somebody following me the whole night, but apparently there was.
Right. But no, I've been on those and I've asked them to actually take the meters and move away from me.
Yeah.
Because I will set them off and like, "Oh my God, we're getting some activity." No, you're not. You're not getting a damn bit of activity.
Yeah, it's just me.
And it'll be like watching a Pentecostal preacher not slay the audience.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they're like, "Oh, it is you." So yes, I have that ability. Please move them away.
Yeah.
If you want real recordings, take them somewhere else.
Right. I was like, because they're all going to be around me and you're going to be picking up on everything else. So
yes. But no, they're not around me. Like David's like, "There ain't no ghost here." your energy and us talking will make that thing go off.
Yeah.
And I'm like, really? He's like, yeah, watch. Ding all the way up to red. Ding all the way up to red. Ding. All right, David, that's cute.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'll tell them to move them away so you can stop messing with them.
Right.
This poor girl, because I was investigating the Eagles Club in Charleston, and this poor girl was about ready to lose her mind because all her meters are going off, all this other stuff. And I'm like, David, will you stop? And he's like, what? It's fun.
Yeah. It's fun though. I like doing investigations and stuff, but it was kind of funny because I mean my brother would stay up until like 3 a.m, scaring the bejesus out of himself, watching these like paranormal investigations in the dark. You know what I mean? Like he really set his own stage to freak himself out, and he did so with the intent that he was going to freak himself out. You know, you don't go to a horror movie with the intent of not being scared. You go there in the hopes that you're going to be terrified at some point.
Right.
So he really had spent months and months and months and months and months building himself up with like, I'm going to have a paranormal experience, and then I show up with my family and suck the spotlight right out from him. I'm like, I'm sorry.
Well, let's take a break, and when we come back, we're going to talk about tips for dealing with paranormal.
Yes.
Welcome back, Goblins! My name is Jason, and I am the host of the Esoteric Book Club, a podcast that examines titles on the magical, paranormal, the mysterious, and the strange. I release 2 episodes a month, in which I review books on esoteric topics, recap news of the weird, and conduct interviews with authors, practitioners, and experiencers. The Esoteric Book Club can be found on every major podcast service, or can be streamed directly from esotericbookclub.org.
Hi, I'm Tracy Van. I provide a blended reading consisting of mediumship, psychic, and tarot cards. A reading from me can cover any guidance you need from relationships with your partner or your family, spiritual, financial, any questions you may need clarity on. If you would like to book an appointment with me, check out my website, tracyvann.com. That's TracyVann.com. I have bookings from 15 to 60 minutes you may choose from. That helps if you just have a quick question, need an answer, or if you're looking for a reading in more depth, I'm here to provide the guidance and clarity for you. Let's just figure it out. Bye.
Hi, Techie Joe here. I work with Aeson Knight and some of the best psychics in West Virginia to create amazing live streams and podcasts for the Psychic Coffee Shop Network. Together, we brew up great content discussing news, events, hot topics, and more, all from a psychic perspective. On the Psychic Coffee Shop, we interview amazing authors in the metaphysical realm. Coffee and Tea combines Aeson with Tracy, Dottie, Natalie, or Lady Gwendolyn for the good and the bad of being a psychic. Shameless Self-Promotion with Dottie the Psychic talks to leading and emerging YouTubers and business owners in our community. Mountain Bears brings you the latest in LGBT news and politics. The Psychic That Plans answers the question of, well, how a psychic plans. Plus, we're live on air. We take your comments and your questions, including psychic advice questions. Check out our amazing programming, book an appointment with top psychics, and find out all the wonderful things we have to offer.
All right, and we're back a little early.
We are. and cut.
So thank you, Mercury. You're being a pain in my ass today. All right. So we are in October, which is paranormal, but I thought we'd give some reminders to some people that I felt were funny, and then we'll talk about some actual stuff. Reminders for October. Werewolves are usually sore after transformations. Give them heating pads and gentle massages, and be sure to keep plenty of food and water on hand. Don't mind colder weather, so remind them to wear jackets so they when they go out at night so they blend better in with the coal population. Monsters that live underneath your bed like the smell of candles you burn in your room. Lush forest is their favorite scent. The shadow people actually like night lights because the more light means the more shadow. The beasts that live in the woods like watching you and your friends around campfires. They like pretending you're part of the group. Many Mews love Halloween. Be sure their costumes are always the best. This is an important month for witches. Be sure to supply us with mason jars.
Yes.
And remind us to actually put water out. Tree monsters that click and crack on your windows don't actually mean to scare you. They just need their nails done. So you may see more increased activity because, of course, the veil is spinning between the spirit world and the earthly plane. This happens twice a year, Beltane and Samhain, which technically is on November the 7th, but for easy calculation, you can go October 31st. So, Natalie, what's your tips for your visiting spirits?
Leave them treats. The last thing you want is a hungry spirit. So, usually I tell people, I'm like, if you are buying Halloween candy and buying things to make mulled wine, make sure you're leaving something for your spirit pals in your home. Especially like dark chocolates and dark wines. They really, really like those. Stay away from the whites. I found that they're just like, nah, I prefer the dark stuff. Thanks. Because that just seems to be how it works. I've never had a spirit come to me like, I really want some Riesling. I'm like, really? They're like, no, slap me with some Merlot. Thank you very much.
Or fresh water. Fresh water's always nice.
I do the fresh one. It's always a joy when the next morning it is filled with bubbles. And I'm like, yes, yes. Look at all that energy. It's so exciting.
And white flowers, bringing fresh cut white flowers into your home.
Incense offerings, do cleansings in your home. Like if you're going to invite anything into your space, make sure it's nothing dark.
Well, here's the thing. It's only dark if you make it dark.
It is. That's very true.
Even a good demon is very useful if you know how to handle him.
Right.
Okay. I don't know. Paranormal shows piss me off. I stopped watching them when every investigation there was a demon. And I'm like, no, there isn't a demon. There's a pissed off prepubescent teenager.
Right. I just got a message. I might have to bounce out in here in a little bit.
Okay. Well, we're going to actually wrap up here in about 5 minutes, but
okay. You've met me. Dark is part of my personality. You can't have light without the dark. Exactly. Everyone who's like, you're so nice and bubbly, and I was like, yeah, that's my Libra side showing.
No, that's your Earl Grey tea showing.
I was like, you think that I'm all nice and bubbly, but once you really get to know me, there's some darkness in there. There's some darkness in there. Mm-hmm.
But things are, it's October. Take time to honor your ancestors.
Yes.
If they have a favorite tea or coffee,
yes. Like bring them back into your home. I mean, I have pictures of my family up on my altar anyway. Mm-hmm. So it's not like I can have any excuse to not be acknowledging them or recognizing them. I have conversations with them frequently in my home. Yep. So, it's like what some people only do in October, most of us are doing on a regular daily, if not weekly basis. So it's, one of those things like, what should I be doing during Halloween? And I'm just like, same stuff I do every other Thursday, I guess. I don't know what to tell you because I do this stuff all the time.
Right. Now, the other part I want to bring up is, this is a warning. It happens every time Hocus Pocus or the craft gets released or anything else gets released. 1, if you do not know what you're doing, do not do it. 2, if you do not know what the chocolate ritual is, do not have a ritual. 3, if you make a mess, this old witch ain't coming to clean up your problem.
Me neither.
4, always remember, love yourself first and then love the rest.
Yes.
5, if you see a purple pumpkin, don't be an asshole. No, blue pumpkin.
Blue pumpkin.
Blue pumpkin. Those kids get double candy.
Yeah.
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 Be kind to everybody. You don't know their story.
Exactly. And, if a teenager comes up, fucking give them candy. I was about shocked when I heard that people were getting carding them for the day.
Offended by it. Yeah. I'm like, they could be doing other things, but instead they're at your house dressed up looking for sweet treats.
Yes.
They could have been doing other things to your home and property. I'd much rather be giving them an offering to make sure that they don't do that later on this evening. Thank you so much.
Yes. 4, if you do happen to get egged or bologna, immediately wash it off because that shit will eat paint.
Yes, it will.
Yes. 5, remember to be putting your gardens to bed. Take time to lay them down properly so that you have a wonderful spring harvest. And, begin bracing for the winter to come. All right, I think we're going to call that a night because I believe Miss Natalie has to bibbity boppity somewhere else.
I do. Magic awaits.
Exactly. You guys have a great night.
Bye, Brenda. Bye, guys.
Talk with you later.
Bye.
Bye.